All right, so let me do a little video here. Somebody asked a question about the color coding of the template names in a corridor. And I just want to clarify a few things, show a few things, and just kind of illustrate this color coding that's built into the software. This is OpenRoads 2023, although, and I do believe this probably is true for all the current versions. So if I have a corridor here and I have three template drops. So I have a template drop here, one here, and then one down here, and there's transitions between those. This is the template library that was used to create that corridor. So I've got three templates in here that I used in this corridor here. So this is the template library that actually built this. So when you do that and you go into the corridor and you go into the tools and the bucket, you will see these three drops that I made, and then of course the transitions between that. So, and you'll see that these are black and they have a path as to where they were, where they came from within that template library. So this text under template name can be one of three colors. It could be black, it could be red, or it could be blue. And they all indicate different things. And I kind of want to cover those and then give you a little illustration of me actually seeing that, what it looks like. So in this case, these are all black because the template library that is loaded is the one that actually produced that. Now, if you didn't realize it, I'm just going to say this, some of the stuff you may already know. This is in the ITL file, and of course the corridor is in the DGN lib. And when you drop a template, it extracts it out of the ITL and embeds it in the DGN file. So in this case, we're looking at templates, these three particular templates that are in this ITL file, but we're also seeing those templates that have been physically copied into this DGN file and used to construct this corridor. So when you look at the templates in the template library, you're looking in the ITL file. When you're looking at the templates through the corridor, you're looking at the templates in the DGN. So now I'm going to open up a different template library. And this template library, I don't believe it has anything in it. So it's empty. So the templates that were used to construct this corridor do not exist in this library. So if you open a library that contains, I'll say, does not contain the templates that were used in the corridor, when you go to the bucket, what you will see is those templates, that path, they are blue. So anytime you see something that is blue in here with a path, it's basically saying this template that's used in this particular corridor here is not or cannot be found in the current template library that is also opened by the software. I'll circle back to this because there's one other area within the software that the template names will be blue, and I'll show you that a little bit later. So these three don't exist in the template library, so I can go in the template library, and again, just to kind of reiterate this and step this little demonstration forward, I go back to the template library that was used to place those. That is now the active template library. Again, if I go back to the bucket, you will see that these are black, meaning that yes, those are in the active and current template library. So now I'm going to go in and just show you one other extension thing. This actually changed from InRoads. The template library that I have open now is the one that physically placed these ones in the corridor. So if I happen to open another template library that also has these in it, if I were in InRoads, those would be show as blue because it would say those didn't come from the same source ITL that were used in the corridor. OpenRoads doesn't function that way. So let me just kind of illustrate that. So if I happen to take this template library and save it, as something else here. I'll save it. I've done this before, so I'm going to save it as this training edits. Step on that. So now the template library that is open is not the one that actually placed this. It's a copy of it, but it's not the template library that actually placed these. And again, in InRoads, these would have shown up as blue, meaning that InRoads tracked the specific ITL that was used in the corridor construction. So if I go now to this corridor, again, just to illustrate that, go back to the bucket where we're seeing this color coding. This is all black. So what this says in OpenRoads, that if that template were copied into any other ITL file and that ITL file were open, this would not recognize that it was anything different than it was actually placed. Again, that's a little bit different. So now, if I the other thing that you'll see in here is that these will be red, and they're red because of one of two reasons. In this case, they're black because the template that's in the corridor is identical to the template in the ITL file. Again, there's two separate containers, so to speak. One's in a DGN, one's in the ITL file. So this is saying that they're black, that means that they're identical. But if I went into a particular template in the corridor here, and I went to edit this template drop and did something on this template drop here, let's say I'll just go on here and I'll just remove the horizontal constraint and then go ahead and click OK on this. So this template now is not the same as the one in the ITL. I changed it in the DGN in the corridor, but not in the ITL. So if I go back to the bucket here, what you'll see is this is red. And this red is just indicating that the template that's in the corridor is not the same as the template in the ITL file. Now, it doesn't show you any of the differences. It doesn't show you, necessarily why this is red, and I'll kind of, step into that, because if I go into this template library and I go to this template here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to remove the horizontal constraint off of there. I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to remove the horizontal constraint off of there. So now these two, in fact, this one, actually, I'm going to, I forgot to set that template active. So instead of doing this video again, I'm going to just continue here. So again, just to confirm, make sure I back up here to confirm where I'm at. This is the one that I edited in the corridor. These are still identical to the template. So I want to edit both of these and show you what happens in the ITL file. Again, go back to the template. Let's make this one active, what I intended to do before. Change this horizontal constraint, remove that, set this one active, remove the horizontal constraint here. So now these are now different than they are in this corridor. So I'm going to go ahead and close this and save it. And now if I go to the corridor bucket again, you will see that these are all red. Now, there's no indication of the fact that I had changed this one in the corridor and I had changed these in the ITL file. There's no signal as to where the change was actually made. And again, there's a option here to synchronize those if you wanted to kind of connect them both up so that they were identical. Again, you have to make choices here. Do you want to edit the templates in the corridor? Or do you have to want to edit the templates in the template library and then synchronize them? Again, I'm just trying to indicate the color. So this coloring, red, indicates that there is some difference between the template library that is loaded and the templates that are used in the corridor. So the next thing I want to show you is the last thing where it indicates something that's blue. I go ahead and close this. And The way another a blue indicator is when a cross section or a template is edited in the corridor, again making it very unique and not uh, identical to any of the templates at all. So I'm going to go into the corridor here, and I'm going to go to this very first, which is the corridor views, and I'm going to go to the dynamic cross sections, open a cross section model, and I'm going to put it in this view. So here, again, this is the dynamic cross-section window, and I'm gonna just step through here until I find something where I feel like I could do a little edit just to kind of show you this. And you may be reviewing your sections and looking for the cross sections, make sure they look okay. I'm gonna go ahead and expand this a little bit. Just holding the shift key down and the control key to change the scaling in here a little bit. Keep walking through here. I'll try to just find a place that looks like a good edit location. Oh, let's just say something like this. Let's say that that this slope here, what you really wanted to do was have this slope, this fill slope, actually intercept at this point out here. So you want to do a basically a one-off edit. You don't want to have to add another template drop. You just want to modify this particular cross section. So the way that's done is by right press. You hold the right click and you just hold it down. So it's a right press, and some options will appear, and you'll do the edit station. So what this is doing is it's editing the typical section drop at that specific station only. So I go to edit station. So at 14 plus 45, what happens is this opens up what looks like the cross-section editor. It's not a cross-section. It is the cross-section editor with all the functionality, but it's actually only looking at, and in the title here, it says editing template at station 14 plus 45 only. So this, I could go with here with all the functionality that you would normally have in template construction. I'm going to go ahead in here, and I'm I'll just do a simple edit here. I'm going to pick this point here, and I'm going to right click on it. And again, these drop downs, this menu should be familiar for anybody who has really worked with templates. And I'm just going to go ahead and move this point, and I'm going to move it over to here. Again, this may be an edit that you do, sort of these one-offs as you scan through your cross sections. And then just notice these little anomalies or just little cleanup points here. Now, of course, it changes slope on this and everything, but I'm trying to do something, a little bit more visual here. So then once that's done, I'm going to OK on this. And you'll see in the dynamic cross section that is going to modify. So at station 14 plus 45, that cross section is now changed. If I step just a little bit forward, just to kind of reveal things in plan view here, what you'll see is in plan view a white line or whatever that color coding is for the plan view, showing that there's a one-off section here that is unique to this model. So now if I go into the corridor drops, go again to the bucket, what you'll see is a blue section here. Blue, and in this case, it does not have a path because this is not didn't come from the ITL. It came from this one-off corridor edit, and they're captured here. Now, you can't really change this because it's actually asking for to pick a template. So what I would normally do here is just, add a little description here. This is a, fill slope, edit or revision or something. So you could always just add some sort of a description in there. But the fact that it's blue here means that it's not in the template library, but blue without the path means that it's actually only exists in this corridor at a specific station here, 14 plus 45, within the band of this other template drop. So so that's the other case for seeing something blue. Again, blue means that it's not in the ITL, that's the current ITL, or that it's a one-off in the corridor only. Red means that it's out of sync, and the template in the existing or the currently loaded ITL, it does not match the template of that same name that's in the corridor. Which one has been changed doesn't really say. This is where you really have to understand your model and who's doing these edits. And then with these one-offs, you can, you'll see these extra sections here. They have the same kind of, added functionality and flyout menus. So if I pick this, you could edit the station, the location of that, but the flyout menu allow you to look at the properties and so on. And and then if you, for some reason, chose not to do that, you may do some of these edits only temporarily as you're doing some preliminary work and trying to get some quantities. But then ultimately, maybe you come back here and have to redo some of your side slopes, but you can then just also delete these or remove those as needed. So those are a few of the color coding kind of schemes that are used in the template names. Again, that's where you see that color coding is in the under the tools in the bucket. And blue, again, blue means that it's not in the current template library that's attached, or it's a one-off in the corridor only. Red means that it's somehow out of sync between the ITL and the corridor DGN. If it's black, that means that template is exactly the same as the template library that is currently opened. And that's it. Hopefully that made some sense. If you have any questions, you could always email me at mark@zenengineering.com or go to my website and info me from there. Alrighty, hope this helped.